And we're back here on the Twisted Mix Penn's Peak Radio. It is Kara with you in the studio this morning. And another amazing, amazing show is making their way back here this Saturday night, March 4th at Penn's Peak. I am talking about the American Rush tribute, Lotus Land, and I'm chatting with two of the members this morning. I've got Bob and Chris on the phone with me. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning, Kara.
Thank you so much for calling in and chatting with me today.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
If you could each just say your name and your voice and what you do in the band so people understand who is who.
Okay, I'll go first. My name is Bob Chartrand, and I am the guitar player and also attempt to play a little bit of keyboards with my feet when the need arises.
Nice.
Right. Andy does backup vocals wonderfully. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes, there you go. So, and I'm trying to do the Getty role in this thing. My name is Chris Nelson. So, yeah, just that, lead singer, bass player, keyboards, and the foot stuff, and all that fun, challenging stuff. So.
You guys do a lot on stage, it seems like.
Yeah, it's... Well, we study the guys as close as we can. We want to pull it off as authentic as possibly. So it takes a lot of work, and we do our best. And it's absolutely a high when you feel like I'm at rock and roll fantasy camp. It's like you're cranking these tunes out, and they're so intricate and challenging. But what a thrill!
Yeah.
They write some amazing music. So
awesome. So it's been about a year since the last time you guys were here. We're so excited again to have you back this Saturday night. How did the rest of 2016 treat you guys?
It was a good year. If to actually go back in time, so March of last year, so about a year ago, we were fortunate enough to be on Access TV's World's Greatest Tribute Bands. So that was quite an honor. And so the band went to Hollywood and played at the Whiskey A Go-Go, live on TV, live on Access TV. So that was really, really cool to be on the same historic stage as some of the all-time rock greats. We also played RushCon again this year in November. That was RushCon, if you're not familiar, rushcon.org, it's, I believe it's the largest Rush fan convention that takes place up in Toronto most often. And so we were in Toronto at the Hard Rock Cafe in Toronto again this year. So that's marked 3 times we played the RushCon event.
Wow. You guys actually won something from there, right? If I remember correctly?
Yeah, so RushCon is basically they have a fan vote. They have submissions, and then I think the staff of RushCon picked the top, 3 or 4, I can't remember how many bands, and then they put them online on like a SoundCloud type thing, and they have people vote. This past year, which sounded like it may be their last convention at least for a little while, they basically just asked us if we would play. So we were pretty honored to kind of bypass, let's say the election and just be asked to play. So there was 2 times it was a voting thing, and this time I think another reason why is they were really rushed to plan the event because of they were waiting for the information of the movie which came out this year, which is Time Stand Still. Basically you could almost call it the retirement of Rush documentary. A lot of teary eyes in that theater. But anyway, so that's kind of RushCon, and as Chris has chimed in, yes, we also played in Panama.
Wow.
Not the country, not Panama, Florida, but Panama City at the Hard Rock, and that was a treat as well. So I think the Access TV, and I'd like to think just the years of dedication that's starting to pay off with people noticing the difference of what we try and do live, and hopefully it continues to pay off.
Definitely. And how long have you guys been doing this for now?
I think we're coming up on about 10 years, right, Bob? But obviously you came in a little later.
Yeah, right now for me it is let's see, it will be 9, so it will be 7.5 years right now for me, I believe.
Okay.
I did the math right.
Yeah. I was just going to say, so that the drummer and I tried to get it off the ground for a couple of years there, and the search continued for the right third guy, and thankfully we found Bob here, and we're I don't know, having at it ever since, and it's a great chemistry, and gosh, I wouldn't trade it for anything. So.
It's definitely a special thing that the three of you found each other and doing this amazing band. What is it about Rush that brought you guys together?
Oh, gosh.
Not to put you on the spot or anything.
No, but I'm sure we all have our own stories and how we get introduced to the band and stuff. And, as a musician, you grow up and you want to challenge yourself, so you get into those, prog bands, and you just try to learn stuff. And then it's just a networking thing, I fell into Lotus land when it was actually a 4-piece unit, and I actually just came down to jam for fun. It sounded like a lot of fun, and he ended up offering me the gig, and so it was me and the drummer we have now for a couple of years there.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a point where we realized we should, look a little harder for that third guy, and actually Bob goes back quite a ways with Mark, the drummer.
Okay.
And so. Thankfully, he recruited him, and there you go.
Yeah, so Mark Dalton, a drummer, obviously, if you're a drummer and you don't want to be or play like Neil Peart, there's probably something wrong with you. Right? So our drummer, I knew he's always wanted to be in a Rush cover, Rush tribute band, however you want to call it. Mm-hmm. They weren't called tributes back in the late 80s and 90s. They were still called cover bands, and tributes weren't really a big thing because these bands were out and live and touring.
Yeah.
So I played in original bands with Mark Dalton, our drummer, for probably about 10 years, and he always knew you wanted to do this Rush thing, and he called me up after maybe about 10 years of really not playing, at least not me with him, mm-hmm. and he said, "Hey, you want to be in a Rush band?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know, I'm kind of busy," and then I listened and I heard Chris, and I'm like, yeah, that's Geddy Lee. I think this is going to be fun. So that's kind of how it started for me, and aligned with Chris as well. When you can play this stuff and you did it right, you did all your parts right, and you just smile because you're like, that is so cool because it's not easy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some songs must be more difficult than others, but when you do it right, you kind of want to high five somebody even if there's nobody around, right? So I think we personally get high, that high feeling from just doing it right, and it doesn't happen all the time, even though maybe some people may or may not notice. But when we hit it right, we certainly know it, and that's what we do it for.
Yeah, and that's cool that you mentioned that because. Okay, when people think tribute bands, okay, they're going to go and they're going to listen to some of their favorite songs from a band they might not have seen in a while. But you guys, I mean, you're fans as well. It's that music that energizes you. So they're expecting to hear a part, but you're the ones playing it. So if you really got it, I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah. You'll see us shows. You'll see people doing the air drums mm-hmm. or even guitar licks, and they're doing it. So you better do it. They're playing air guitar or air drums, and if you miss that beat, it's like
they'll know.
They know you missed it. Yeah.
Oh.
I can tell you from right before our very first gig, even right before Bob, I said to myself, I'm going to give this a shot, and if it's not well received for whatever reason, I'm not going to prolong it. I'm not going to disgrace the band that I love,
mm-hmm.
or my bandmates, myself. But it's mostly like I'm not going to disrespect Rush. I mean, they're so near and dear to our hearts,
Yeah.
It's such a fierce fan base, and they certainly will call you out if it's not what it should be. So, and thankfully, it's been nothing but positive feedback since. So.
And the way you guys are going to keep having positive feedback. And like the show, let's talk about the show Saturday night. Now, what can people expect for the show? The normal hits, a little under? What do we got?
All the above. I can tell you.
Yeah.
I can tell you this: we're doing tunes off the very first album, and I won't say last. I'll never admit that they're done. But Clockwork Angels will play some stuff off that too. So, and yeah, of course, a whole lot of hits and deep tracks, and I think it's a great mix. That's one thing we pride ourselves on is like. Just about always, we hear like, oh, what a great set list! You did this and that and this, and they were so prolific. It's tough to cover it all, everybody. But gosh, you mix it up, and some nights you wouldn't do this tune, and just try to balance it. So
yeah,
we always try and be balanced, so it's not so much of a, it's not just. Let's say fanatics that will enjoy it, right? And what's funny for this show is we did get a couple of Facebook, requests that I believe will just by chance actually end up making the set list anyway. So there's at least a couple of people out there are going to be really happy.
Yeah,
just a couple.
Yeah.
No, I think everyone's going to be really enjoying. I mean, for yourselves, do you sometimes then when you're practicing go back and say, hey, we haven't heard this song or they haven't played this song in a while, throw that in?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We try to keep it fresh for ourselves, too.
Yeah.
Because, for lack of a better example, but, if the crowd doesn't know we haven't played Tom Sawyer for, 4 months, and we're going to throw it back. That's the worst example ever, because of course we're going to play it. But yeah, we shift it around to get us excited too. So.
Yeah, awesome. I was stalking your Facebook a little bit, but do you guys also go out and meet the fans afterwards, right?
Yeah. It's I think it's fun. The first time I almost was shocked as why do people want to meet us? We're a tribute band. But I don't know that it might be the same for every type of tribute band. But I think the Rush fans are so invested in the music, and we found that you don't do a meet and greet after the show. People are kind of like upset.
Yeah.
So we always come out at the end of the show, and for whoever wants to stop and say hi and. We've gotten to know a lot of people, so we actually start to see some faces, multiple times. And, you played that song. I'm so glad, and just, chit-chat about stuff like that. Some people have very near and dear stories of certain songs that when we happen to play it and they tell us their story, it's almost like, wow, it's like, thank you. It's very... We find there's a need for folks to want to do that, and we could stand and talk all day. We love doing this. This is fun. It's much more fun than work, right? People want to say hi to us. We're more than happy to do that.
That's awesome. Yeah. I think that right there. I mean, your music amazing, but right there, being connected with the people, that is what's helping you get further and further.
Well, believe me, we're excited to meet them, too, because we're all Rush geeks. That's why we're all there.
Exactly.
Celebrating this amazing body of work.
Yeah. Awesome. Again, this Saturday night, March 4th, up here at Penn's Peak, I'm going to be giving away tickets in a few minutes for you to win to see Lotus Land. Guys, what else does 2017 have to offer?
So far it's already going to be our busiest year.
That's good.
So, without naming a whole bunch of venues, some of them might be competing, right? I don't want to do that. But so far, this year has started off where I would say our first half of the year is already matching last year, and last year was really good. Awesome. So we get some new people that we're working with to push the band, and they're getting great response from venues from, let's say, from as far south as Georgia and as far north as Toronto.
Wow.
So we hope to be more out and about this year than ever.
Cool.
Yeah. So without mentioning any other venues, I mean, just monitor our website, Facebook, whatever. Join our mailing list. Yeah.
What is your website so people can check it out?
So it's lotuslandband.com.
Awesome. All right, lotuslandband.com. Lotusland, we're going to see you Saturday night up here at Ben's Peak. Bob, Chris, thank you so much for chatting with me this morning.
You bet. Thanks so much, Kara.
We cannot wait. We'll talk to you and see you Saturday, and we'll all geek out together.
Great.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks. You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.